The 19th century was a period of immense change in America. Cities swelled with new arrivals. Many were immigrants seeking opportunities. Industrialization transformed the landscape, but progress came at a cost. Poverty became rampant, especially in urban centers. Many children were left orphaned or abandoned. Streets teemed with homeless youth. They faced hunger, disease, and exploitation. Existing systems were ill-equipped to cope. Orphanages were overcrowded and underfunded. The plight of these children became a pressing social issue. Reformers sought solutions to address this growing crisis. They aimed to provide care and opportunity. Social reformers recognized the need for intervention. They began to explore alternatives to traditional orphanages. The idea emerged that a change of environment could offer a better life for these vulnerable children. This concept led to the development of a radical new approach. It involved relocating children to rural communities. This innovative approach aimed to provide children with stable homes. It sought to place them in families willing to offer care and support. The hope was that a rural upbringing would provide opportunities. Children could learn valuable skills and contribute to society. This marked the beginning of a significant social experiment. It would become known as the Orphan Train movement. Charles Loring Brace was a pivotal figure in the Orphan Train movement. A Protestant minister, Brace witnessed firsthand the suffering of street children. He was deeply moved by their plight. He believed that institutional care was inadequate. He envisioned a different future for these children. Brace founded the Children's Aid Society in 1853. His organization sought to address the root causes of child homelessness. He advocated for placing children in family homes. He believed this offered a better chance for a stable and productive life. This approach challenged conventional thinking. The Children's Aid Society became instrumental in organizing the Orphan Trains. Brace's vision was to provide children with opportunities they lacked in the city. He aimed to give them a chance to thrive in a nurturing environment. He saw rural communities as offering a fresh start. The society implemented a system for selecting children. They prioritized those most in need. They sought to match children with suitable families. The process involved careful screening and preparation. The goal was to ensure the well-being of the children. This marked the beginning of a large-scale relocation effort. The Orphan Train movement began in 1854. The first train carried a group of children from New York City to rural communities in the Midwest. This marked the beginning of a decades-long effort. Thousands of children would be relocated across the country. The trains became a symbol of hope for many. The journey itself was often long and arduous. Children traveled for days, sometimes weeks. They carried their belongings in small sacks. They were accompanied by chaperones from the Children's Aid Society. These individuals played a crucial role in ensuring the children's safety and well-being. Upon arrival in a new town, children were often presented at public gatherings. Prospective families would assess the children. They would choose those they wished to take into their homes. The process was often informal and lacked rigorous oversight. This led to concerns about exploitation and abuse. Some children found loving and supportive homes. They were given opportunities for education and a better life. Others faced hardship and disappointment. They experienced neglect or mistreatment. The experiences of orphan train children varied widely. The lack of consistent oversight created challenges. Section 4. A mixed legacy shaping modern child welfare. The Orphan Train movement left a complex legacy. It represents both a compassionate response to a social crisis and a flawed system with lasting consequences. The movement brought attention to the needs of vulnerable children. It spurred the development of child welfare services. The movement laid the groundwork for the modern foster care system. It highlighted the importance of placing children in family settings. It demonstrated the potential for community-based care. This approach contrasted with the institutional model of orphanages. The Orphan Train movement also exposed the need for greater oversight and regulation in child placement. The lack of consistent standards led to abuses. This prompted calls for reforms to protect children's rights. It contributed to the development of more structured adoption and foster care practices. The movement's impact on child welfare is undeniable. It prompted a shift in thinking about how best to care for vulnerable children. It contributed to the development of more humane and effective systems. It also highlighted the ongoing need for vigilance and advocacy. Section 5. Controversies and closure at the end of the line. The Orphan Train movement faced increasing criticism over time. Concerns arose about the lack of proper screening of families. There were allegations of exploitation and abuse. Some children were placed in unsuitable homes. They faced difficult working conditions or neglect. The movement also raised questions about the rights of parents. Some children were placed on the trains without their parents' consent. This led to legal challenges and ethical debates. Critics argued that the system violated parental rights. By the early 20th century, social attitudes towards child welfare were evolving. The rise of professional social work led to more structured approaches. The development of government-funded welfare programs provided alternatives to the orphan trains. The Orphan Train movement officially ended in 1929. Changing social and economic conditions contributed to its decline. The decreased need for farm labor in the Midwest also played a role. The movement left behind a complex legacy of both hope and controversy. It serves as a reminder of the ongoing need for compassionate and effective solutions for vulnerable children.